What's up, guys? My name is Belknap. I'm here with Dirt Bike Test. I'm a pro level off-road racer, and today we're testing the difference between the multiple brands for 250 off-road dirt bikes. This one right here, we have the Yamaha. This is my first ranking that I put at the top. Overall, it's the best bike out there from tight single track to off-road to moto. It can just handle it all with the kit suspension, and the motor is just really good and broad from the top to bottom and mid. It's just very good bike all around. The only downsides I would put to this is maybe a different bar bend, and aftermarket tanks are a little weird with how it is located, but otherwise from that, it's an awesome bike. I race more Grand Prix style races on the West Coast, so for me a second pick had to be the Cowie. It's a really good handling bike. You're just naturally on it, or you get very naturally comfortable on it, and it's a good bike from the peg to bar ratio. I really loved it. It corners really well, it handles really well. It could have a little bit better handling in the forks. It's a little stiff and rigid, but the rear end's really good. Only negatives I would give it are the brake levers are really tiny, so it's kind of hard to grab. It feels weird to grab, so I'd have a little bit bigger ones than that. And the pipe's really loud and big, so that was a little obnoxious to me, but otherwise from that, it was a great all-around bike. I placed third the CRF 250RX. It was a little too wide for me up front in the gas tank area. I feel they could slim it down a little bit, like prior years have. But otherwise from that, it's a very smaller wheelbase, it feels like. So when you're in that tight single track, it turns really well through there and stuff. But when you get onto the moto track and into some faster straightaways, it's a little not as great of a bike because it doesn't handle as well and isn't as stable with that. But that big tank allows that front end to stay a little more planted than the Cowie and other previous bikes, since it has that big tank up front. But overall, it was a great bike. It could just use a little bit of slimming and maybe a little extender, but the motor is really good, had a really good bottom for trail riding, and had a really good top end for when you're trying to ride hard. And I think it would be a great trail riding bike. And rounding out the bottom of the four is the GasGas. It was an interesting bike. It was the only steel frame we had. But I really enjoyed that steel frame. It was really good, so like it made the bike feel really good and stuff, and I enjoyed the steel frame. Otherwise from that, I wasn't a huge fan of the forks, of the air forks. It was just a little too stiff and weird feeling for me. And but the motor was a really good, calm motor. It wasn't anything aggressive that was gonna rip your arms off. Really good for like an intro rider, and just a really smooth, consistent from the bottom to top, and overall a pretty good bike. Overall, all these bikes are really good in their own ways, and just finding which one suits you best is up to you.